What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Talk Flourish, and today I'm back with another video. Following on from a video I put up recently where I talked about my top 10 favourite TV shows. Today, and with someone asking in the comments of that video, what my favourite TV characters were, I thought I would get two lists out of that and do my top 10 favourite female and male TV characters. So, we're going to start with female characters today, and then in the next list that will go up sometime in the future, we're going to talk about my top 10 favourite male TV characters. So let's get into it with number 10, Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. To me, Rosa Diaz is the perfect balance of badass and sensitive at the same time, because I really like how in Brooklyn Nine-Nine she started out in the first season as this emotionless, almost let her aggression do the talking for her kind of person, and then as the seasons matured, she's matured. We've also seen her like open up to people more, have boyfriends, and open up to Jake more about her personal life. Jake Peralta, for those of you that know Brooklyn Nine-Nine will know what I'm talking about. And we've seen her have a very powerful storyline, in my opinion, where she's come out as bisexual, and I really enjoy how Brooklyn Nine-Nine handled that storyline of her coming out to her colleagues and them doing a Q&A but not being rude or crass about it, but still being able to see the funny side. And yeah, to me, the emotional story of her still trying to connect with her parents who can't accept it, I really like. But I also like some of her light-hearted storylines, like her dating with a bisexual lady, and her light-hearted banter with Jake Peralta, who, spoiler alert, is on my males list, so we will talk more about him then. But yeah, I really enjoy that. I really enjoy her, and I just think she's a fun character. Number 9 is Chloe Decker from Lucifer. For me, a lead character doesn't work without a secondary character. I wouldn't even call her a secondary character, but just someone to bounce off of. And Chloe Decker, for me, is the perfect person to bounce off of, because she's very good at reacting to Lucifer's shenanigans, shall we say. But also, she's also has lead role moments where she has her own storyline, like her story with her ex-husband Dan and her daughter Trixie, and accepting that, because I should have said this at the beginning, but for those of you that don't know, Lucifer is in fact the devil, but he comes to Los Angeles because he's bored and starts investigating crime scenes with Chloe when the circumstances are crossed together. So yeah, I really enjoy her being able to bounce off of Lucifer, their on and off again relationship, her complicated relationship with her ex-husband, her backstory of being a childhood actress to please her mum, but then later becoming a cop, like her father, because she thought that was a more noble profession. And I enjoy there's a storyline where she falls in love with another demon who's come to Earth in the body of her previous lover, and I enjoy her bouncing off that. But I also enjoy, because she's quite a serious character, moments where she shows emotion and is forced to almost let loose, like at a high school reunion, because she missed out on all of that because she's a childhood actress. I enjoy all that. But yeah, I just think Chloe Decker's a very cool character. Number 8 is Penny Hofstadter from The Big Bang Theory. I won't spend too much time on this one, because if I had to, again, Penny for me has the least character development, but she's still a character I enjoy. She basically starts off in The Big Bang Theory. She's introduced to Leonard and Sheldon. For those of you that don't know, The Big Bang Theory focuses on nerds and not knowing how to focus in real life or interact in real life, and she's basically the glue that brings them out of their shell and holds their friendship together. I love her storyline with Leonard. I love how in earlier seasons she was sort of afraid to feel her emotions. Again, I love character development, I think, is a key theme in this. And we see not only does she develop personally, but professionally, she realises that acting is not a stable profession, and maybe becoming something more stable, spoiler alert, she becomes a pharmaceutical sales rep. So I enjoy that, that's fun, and just bits like that, really. But again, Penny is the least developed character on this list for me, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about her. Number 7 is Jennifer Giroux from Criminal Minds. Again, a character that doesn't have much development, but a bit more than Penny. And I enjoy how, at the start of the season, Jennifer Giroux just dealt with the media of Criminal Minds and didn't really help. For those of you that don't remember, I should say this as well. Criminal Minds is a show where essentially FBI profilers work to find the killer by getting into his mind. And the thing I love about Jennifer Giroux, in the first season, she was basically in her office all the time and didn't become part of the team. Like, she wasn't really helping with profiles. She was just more listening to help because she was the media coordinator. And I love how in season 3 she becomes pregnant because the actress became pregnant in real life. So a storyline's developed where a detective she met on a previous case, she has in fact been dating ever since that case, and I love that story. Who later becomes her husband, Will, and her whole family dynamic. She's the one with the biggest family out of the team, and I love how she's able to balance that. But I also love a twist that they threw in later seasons. Basically, Spencer Reid, who is basically her former love interest. Like, they went on a few dates in the early season, but chose to remain friends. But then in later seasons, we see that she confesses that she does love him. But there's a scene that absolutely breaks my heart every time I see it. She's been shot, and she tells him, "I've always loved you, but I love my husband and my kids too. So it's not fair. Life is not fair." And that just breaks my heart every time. And yeah, I love how, again, by the end of the season, she's grown from an agent that didn't really want to be in this unit to a respected part of this unit, and how by the end of the season, because another character's been offered a promotion to lead another unit, she gets offered to run the actual unit. And I find that very cool. I love how, I should have mentioned this earlier, but she was written out in season 6, but due to fans loving her so much, it was demanded she was brought back. And I love how they handled that with her being reassigned and then the team being a member down, so that her being told, "We need you." And yeah, Jennifer Giroux, I think, is probably one of my favourite characters in Criminal Minds. Number 6, I apologise guys, this video is going to be quite long because I'm going into quite descriptive character things. Number 6 is Sabrina from The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. For those of you that don't know, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a remake of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I think took place in the 90s. I honestly don't know because I haven't seen the original. But I love how in this Sabrina, the Sabrina is more darker and like has both a good side and a bad side. And I love how we see her good side when she's at school and being basically a normal teenager. And then in her darker side, when she goes home, she's a witch. So I love her almost split personality and how she becomes, when her two worlds start merging, she doesn't know how to process it. So I love how we see her process that, and how her high school friends process her being a witch, and how her witch family process her wanting to be normal, and all the developments that happen there. I love her romantic development, starting out with just a high school boyfriend, Harvey, and later turning out to be in love with a fellow, I think he's a witch, like, I honestly don't know. And having to balance the two for a little while, but then realizing, oh wait, I do love this guy, and ending up with that guy in the series finale. Yeah, overall, I feel like Sabrina is a very well-rounded character, and I love how there's two. There's one that's in hell, and one that's in heaven, and the scenes where you see them both talking to each other, I find very cool. Like, almost like talking to yourself, but actually having yourself answer back, which I find quite funny, which is quite cool. Number 5 is Alexis Castle. For those of you that don't know, Castle was, and still is, one of, if not my favourite TV shows. And a big part of that is Alexis, Richard Castle's daughter. I love how at the start, again, character development is my big thing, and I love how at the start of the season she was a nerdy teenage girl, and at the end of the season she's helping run a PI office. Series, should I say. She's helping run a PI office. Like, I love how also she developed a loving relationship with Kate Beckett, who, spoiler alert, we are going to get into on this list. I love how they became almost sisterly like, but also had this motherly relationship with each other when Richard and Kate got together. And I enjoy stuff like I enjoy how, again, in earlier seasons she was very, and I love how in earlier seasons she found what her dad did cool, but then after her dad has a near-death experience, she's like, you're a writer, not a cop, stop pretending, and then becomes all moody. I love her romantic developments by dating, once again, a cute guy from high school, and then almost going off the rails later in the season, and dating what I would call, not bad boy, but like a screw up, and almost moving in with him, but later realising, oh crap, I've made a mistake, sort of thing. I love her relationship with Hayley, who is Castle's assistant in his PI office, but almost becomes like her big sister. And I love how Hayley teaches Alexis to embrace her wild childness, I guess would be the way I would phrase that. If you've seen the season, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm a bit. I would probably. She probably doesn't rank as high as maybe some characters, because for me she didn't have a satisfying ending in the series. But other than that, I really enjoy Alexis Castle. Number 4, and these are for me are probably the 4 greatest female TV characters. Number 4 is Amy Santiago from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Once again, a character that started out only wanting approval from her captain, and just like almost like daddy issues, and like handing him work and being like, I did this, like teacher's pet, like, to becoming a sergeant in her own right later in the season, and someone that put work ahead of everything, but then later realised, oh wait, if I don't have love in my life, I don't have nothing. So I enjoy how Amy has become now married to Jake Peralta, who, again, we will get into in the males list. And they've now got a kid, and Amy has come to terms with her that work isn't everything, and I enjoy that development, and needing and realising that, oh wait, I can take a day off and not feel guilty. But yeah, I love that storyline. I love her relationship with her parents, who are almost like that we expect the best from you, and like pressure on Amy. So, but I enjoy that. I enjoy her the evolution, which we'll cover more in the Peralta thing, of her relationship with Jake Peralta, is cool, because it's gone from like childish banter to almost, yeah, I do love you, to now we're married with a child. So that evolution, I feel like, helped evolutionize, I don't even know if that's a word, her character. But yeah, I just really enjoy Amy Santiago. Number 3 is Ziba David from NCIS. Again, a character who showed up in season 3 and was there right up until season 11. I enjoy her character arc of learning the English language in America, learning about English culture, and just being the liaison officer between NCIS and another agency to later becoming an agent in her own right. And then she's this badass who would kick anyone's ass and stuff like that. I love her emotional moments. Like, I love, there's an episode where she essentially falls in love with a dying man. And we see her almost broken in the next episode because he's dead, if that makes any sense. And like, I love when we see her emotions. I love when we see her interactions with her partner, Tony Donoso, who later becomes the father of her child. And I love how when she left the series, she did it in a badass way of almost like, I'm just going to leave. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Like, she didn't go out in a gunfight. She just was like, I've had enough. I'm done. Like, and I found that kind of cool. I love how her relationship with Gibbs, Mark Harmon's character, of like almost fatherly, daughterly. And I also really like, she showed up back in season 17, which aired recently. Her evolution of a character of being this badass to almost like timid and scared because she's been on the run so long after some events have happened in the series. And I love how now, currently, all she wants to do is get back to her daughter, who was left in the care of her former partner, and just wants her daughter back. And like, realising once again, work isn't everything and having a family is important. But yeah, once again, I just love Ziba David. Number 2 is Annelise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder. Once again, a character with so much development. I love how, again, at the start of the series, she had these 5 students that she picked, but only wanted them to do her dirty work, and realised that if she wants to help her with her problems, she needs to help them with theirs. I cannot speak, I need some water. Them with theirs. So like, she realises she has to help clean up Wes Gibbons' mess from his childhood, Laurel's issues with her family, and I also love how we see a lot of flashbacks to Annalise's past of the accident that killed her baby and then ultimately killed her inside. I don't really know how to phrase that. Sorry, guys. If I didn't do that, I couldn't speak. But yeah, killed her inside and turned her into this darker person. But I love how we see her, because she's a bisexual character, we see her in both relationships with men and women. And almost like, I don't know how to phrase this bit, but like, just bits like that. I also love how when she goes home to her mother, she's a completely different person. She becomes this needy, like, mama's girl, and from this strong, independent lawyer. I love how, my massive big thing is I love how at the end of the series, she was able to find love and be happy and live out her days with her final love. And I love how we've gone from this stone cold bitch of a woman who didn't want anyone or anyone in her life to having this group of friends around and a godchild to now, and then married again. Like, everything came full circle, and I really like it. Number 1, was that number 3 or number? Yeah. Number 1 is Kate Beckett from Castle. This one is very obvious because Castle is my favourite show. But yeah, I just love how, once again, Kate Beckett started out as a detective who work was only thing that was important. She worked on cases, wanted to solve her mother's murder, that was it. and then as Castle showed up, I feel like there was a character and a line in it that showed up and was like, he basically said to Beckett, you weren't having any fun before Castle came along. So I love how as her relationships get stronger with Castle, we see more of Beckett outside of the office. And just bits like that, really. I also love how we see, as we'll talk about, because Richard Castle is on my list of male characters, her help Castle mature as a person. And like, I love her interactions with her team, Ryan and Esposito, and her standing up to authority. But I also love how, in the end, we see Castle and Beckett with children, and she's a loving mum, and she's gone from, similar to Annelise Keating, like, having no one around to having this massive family around. Like, I just love that, really. But, but guys, those are just my 10 favourite female TV characters of all time. Let me know yours in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.